there, James True here. Hope you guys are doing good. This is, let me see, am I live? I'm not muted. Everything's good. I just want to have the camera on, that's all. And, yeah, I'm going to, today's a laxy day. Lackadaisical. Hope you guys aren't expecting more. I just washed my face. I got up around 3 this morning. Thinking about the world. Thinking about things that are happening. And, yeah, clipping some things, trimming some stuff. I know I made you guys some promises about some videos, and I think I'm going to fulfill those promises right now. You heard it here first. I promised you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's cover lesbian witch hunt. Let me pull this up. Hey, that's not working. Oh, man. This thing is so picky. In a second, I gotta go here, and I gotta go here, then I gotta go here. There we go. And then I gotta go all the way back here, because that's how easy it is. So let me show you this. This is lesbian witch hunt. Lesbian witch hunt. We're taking calls today. If you have anything to say, anything at all, you should find the call-in line in the description. If not, if you go to Patreon, you'll see it there. It's free to join Patreon today, so you can go there and check it out too. You could join our live room. I'm going to ask when you come in. Raise your hand if you've got something to say. Then I'll know. We will be calling on you there. I think the live room can hear me now if I do this. And yeah, we've already got a caller in there waiting. So if you've ever had something to say, you wanted to put it on the Wolfman Jack show, and you didn't know who Wolfman Jack is, now's your chance. If you know who Wolfman Jack is, and you're like, James, you don't look anything like Wolfman Jack, then don't worry about it, man. You still got to come in. We got to do this for the spirit of Wolfman Jack. Wolfman Jack's howling at the spirit of America. And right now, we're going to save some lesbians, man. We got to save some lesbians. Let's listen to this.
Ring camera footage from Tuesday morning. You can see a woman lightly jog past the house's front yard. But once she gets out of frame, she turns back around, rolls up her sleeves, then jogs up the lawn, and an open fist strikes one of the witch decorations down before running off. But it doesn't end there. She then comes back again and uses her elbows to hit the remaining 2 witches.
Are lesbians on a mission with the commies? Is that what you just said?
I've never seen her before, and I've checked with several of my neighbors, and none of them recognize her either.
And this isn't the first time it's happened. You're looking at video from the evening of October 11th. Just like Tuesday morning, a woman who appears to be the same woman jogs past the house, this time stopping to stare at the decorations. But then she comes back and punches all 3 witches down.
So I'm just looking up, Brad, that we're projected
all 3 of them,
spend.
guys. All 3 of them, ladies and gentlemen. The spirit of witch hunting is alive and well. Some of you like to complain about how awful the world is and how much worse it's gotten. And I want you to know that when you watch stuff like this, we're actually doing frickin' great. We used to be like a lot worse for this. We used to be like awful at this. Seriously. Like really awful. Like let's kill each other. Let's do it. I just want to point that out. So what this lady is doing is awful, okay? It's horrible. It's the worst of humanity that's ever been seen, and we've never seen a world so tragically evil as we do today. Let's keep watching.
It's really disheartening, and not only that, not to just do it once, but twice. I just wanted to stop, really. You know, that's
Look at
it,
that.
because the kids really do enjoy it.
Now she's upping her security.
Did you see her cute little run? Look at this. Can I back
She's
this
up.
up?
The kids really do enjoy it, because the kids really
Look at
do
this.
enjoy it, because the kids
Look at
really
this.
do enjoy it, because the
Look
kids
at
really
this.
do enjoy it, because the kids
Look
really
at
do
this.
enjoy it, kids really
Look
do
at this.
enjoy it,
Look at
kids
that.
really
Look
do
how
enjoy it, because the
cute
kids
she is.
really
Like,
do that, because
I'm committing
that's it,
a
because the kids really
felony.
do enjoy
I'm
it.
running.
Now she's upping
I'm
her
embracing my
Enjoy it.
ancestors
Now
and
she's
committing.
Kids really do it,
I'm
because
gonna relive all
I
my
just twice. I
problems.
just wanted to stop,
fucking
really.
punch you, bitch.
That's it, because the kids really
look
do
at me
enjoy
run.
it.
I'm
Now
running.
she's
I'm
upping
getting
her
away.
security.
Today I activated the voice command.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
Skynet is
This is not the
online.
only house on the street with Halloween decorations, but it seems to be the only one being targeted.
This is clearly an attack on LGBT values. This is clearly an attack on libertarian values. It's clearly an attack. Notice how there's clearly a poisonous spider. Look at the fucking skeleton. How can you turn away? Look at that guy. Look at him. Look at him. This is the very face of evil. And we're too afraid. No, we're going to go after the lesbians that are on the ground.
But it's
The ground lesbians. Meanwhile, you've got a freaking clown in a cage. You've got children in cages. You got some dude on a swing. You can't be swinging. He's a swinger. This is like a polyamorous relationship guy. You got kids in cages. But no. No, we're going to go after the witch lesbians.
To just do it once but twice. I just wanted to stop, really, that's it, because the kids really do enjoy it.
Now she's upping her security.
Today I activated the voice command.
Hi.
Thank God, Skynet.
You are currently being recorded.
This is not the...
Now, I've told you guys before. I've said, stop saying it's they. It's her. It's her. And you live next to her. You know that. You live right next to her. And because you live right next to her, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Many of you are like, James, I don't have to pick sides. My good friend Adam says he could be a hermit. I miss those days. I used to be able to do that. But now I'm too symbiotic. I've been bit by the symbiotic train. I've been bit by it. I shouldn't do that ankle anymore because I got a chipped tooth. It's really embarrassing. It affects my whole auric field. This is what we do. I'm saving up for a chip. I'm going to get a chip put in my tooth because we live in a world where no one should have chips in their tooth. And I'm like, I got a chipped tooth. What do you do about that? It's very confusing. Very confusing. Oh, my goodness. We have a caller on the line. Caller, are you there? State your name. Where are you from? Just give him a second.
Yeah, I'm Brad down here from Atlanta. And yeah. And
Hey.
I just wanted to say, before we worry about fixing those chipped teeth, we got to defeat these lesbians, man. It's got to be priority number one. We got to take care of that before we can even get to anything else.
This is
We let them just do what they're doing, plotting and planning.
So you're pro-lesbian. You want to feed the lesbians. Is that where you're going?
I'm saying we need to feed the lesbians to the crowd, man.
Oh.
Let them tear them apart.
Oh, Brad, Brad from Atlanta.
Dangerous.
Brad from Atlanta wants to feed the lesbians to the crowd. Guys, let's think about this. All in favor of feeding lesbians to the crowd. Hey, did you guys know this is how morals work? That really all you need is a majority. That's it. That if you get enough people voting in a certain way, you can just do what you want. It turns out that's how morality is satisfied. Did you guys know that? It's true. Isn't that right, Brad? Don't we just need a majority here?
That's absolutely it, man.
Yeah.
Once we get everybody on board with this, America's going to be the greatest thing it's ever been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, guys,
the only thing stopping us.
The moral majority is like what, 31% of the eligible voters? Like right now? Like I think like 31% of all MAGA people. Basically put this guy in office. Damn it, Janet. I know. I hear you, user RJ5LD9G6 Sorry, I got your name wrong. It really rolls off the tongue. Actually, I recognize that face, but I just thought that'd be funny. Yeah, well, thanks for the call, Brad. Appreciate it. Are you going to vote MAGA again?
All right, MAGA till the end, baby.
Do you feel better now that
MAGA 45.
MAGA 45, Colt MAGA 45. Are you enjoying those SNAP benefits? How does that feel? That's got to feel good, right?
Oh man, I'm telling you, them that pinched my little nuts right there when they tried to take them away.
Oh, so
I don't know if you know this or not, though. That the lesbians are behind that too.
Okay, so you wanted SNAP.
I'm in this weird space now. I know what you're saying. I see. I get where you're taking me wrong here now. No. See, I decided I was going to join them. See, I knew that there was something there, and that was just the all those folks that was getting them SNAP benefits.
Yeah,
I went ahead and joined them.
Okay.
So now I was getting my SNAP benefits.
Wow, Brad.
Now my own brethren trying to take me away.
Brad from Atlanta, I got to say, I am impressed with your ability to be both MAGA. First of all, you got the MAGA anti-lesbian because you're going to feed them to other people. So you're right in line there. But you're pro-SNAP. Is that what I'm hearing right?
Totally, man. I think that that's the way that I think that's the way we fix this thing. See, once we get all the snap into the system.
Yeah.
Then we take over.
Okay, so collect underpants.
Work is.
Right? Collect underpants, right?
Exactly.
And then the plan reveals itself, right? It reveals itself. Well, this is an interesting theory. And I think we should consider Brad's theory here. Brad from Atlanta. He's pro MAGA, pro feeding lesbians to wait a minute. Do you want immigrants to eat the lesbians, or do you think they do not get to eat the lesbians? That only citizens get the? I just feel like I should ask this.
I think that once we get it all streamlined out, the SNAP benefits are going to be for us to buy the lesbians, so we eat the lesbians.
Okay,
that's what the whole end goal is.
So you see lesbians as a sort of cattle. Yeah, you see lesbians as a sort of mobile cattle that like a Roman infantry would take with them on battle, and then just grab a McRib, on the way across the Rubicon. Is that kind of how you see lesbians here?
Totally.
Okay. Well, thank you for the call, Brad. I really appreciate this. You've really given me some things to think about. This is a pretty deep look into MAGA. And honestly, I really applaud your ability to go across the aisle here on the SNAP thing, because, SNAP is a pretty divisive issue right now. A lot of people are really concerned about that, and you are pushing in the other direction. So hats off to you. I appreciate that. All right, we are going to watch another video now. Thank you, Brad, so much for calling in. That was a wonderful contribution. I've been promising you guys that Alex Jones is pregnant. I've put this out. I suggested to you that he's having he had an artificial insemination. A lot of you guys think that right to life is something that's always going to have to do with fertility. In fact, I've been trying to bring up the idea of, I listened to an MRA guy. MRA is men's rights something. Activist. That's it. We will call them activists. And that the MRA brought up something fascinating. I was driving down to see my dad, and I was listening to this guy call in, and he said something interesting. He's like, look, if I got to put my juice in a cup, or if I got to put that juice in a Stargate, or if I am somehow part of the pregnancy, if the DNA in my, right, so some of you guys, the primitive way of doing this, my favorite way, personally, I'm not going to lie, my favorite way of doing this is that you got some spermicles in you, and they have cells that are missing a strand. They're missing the only cell in your body that's missing a strand of DNA. And you feel this missing. You feel that every day you are generating more missingness. You collect this missing juice. It's the white juice of power. Light cake batter. Some of you who've read Crowley, you may know this recipe, that it's a first ingredient of light cake, and that this has a missingness to it, which means it has a kind of charge, right? It's an attractive charge that brings people. Oh God, I just realized we're on Facebook. Hey, Facebook guys, this is going to be kind of offensive, so you maybe not want to watch it on there. But I'm going to just keep going, because this missingness, you meet a beautiful maiden, and the beautiful maiden has a missingness too. She's missing a different kind of DNA, and you guys, you kind of rub stuff. You rub stuff. You go to first base. Just wait. Gotta take your time. Why do you have to run automatically to third base, man? Fucking stay on first base for a sec. Just, Jesus, man. Just chill. You're on first base, man. You've never been here before. This is the only chance you're gonna hit first base, guys. Let's sit down. Let's have a coffee. What do you guys think first base is? I'd say kiss. I think kissing is first base. Do you guys disagree? What is a metaphorical pregnancy? What a great question, Monica. I don't know. I use metaphors sometimes as sort of like a simile, and then I back the simile up by an analogy. And then after the analogy, I like to swing around and show you where the metaphors should be. That's right, metaphors be with you, ladies and gentlemen. Metaphors be with you. So I don't know what I was talking about. I kind of went straight to the gutter there. But that'll happen sometimes. Hey, we got a caller. We got a caller here. Let me switch this over. Wait. Let me switch this over. Wait. I gotta hang on a second. I'm having some buttons. I'm clicking. Look at me. I'm pressing buttons live on air. There's a phone. Phone's ringing. Hello, caller. State your name. Where are you from?
Hi, my name is Renee, and I am from Portland, Oregon, where we have quite a lot of activity. Beautiful Portal town. Hi, James.
Hello, Renee. Great to hear from you. Appreciate the call.
Well, I was just looking into how the SNAP benefits are going to be, stopping the funding as of November 1st, which is a few days from now. Yep. And I was just someone from Atlanta named Brad as well did mention the other day that I think it takes up about $39 a year out of per taxpayer.
Yes, that's
what the pullout of that of our income is. So that being the case, I went to see how much we're spending on in foreign aid to countries this year. And that is going to be projected up to being $58.4 billion.
Wow.
To aid other people in other countries. I'm not saying that isn't worthy, but you would think you'd want to take care of your own turtle shell.
Yeah.
First, you put the mask on your turtle shell first. So just the projected, what we're putting out and what we're inviting into our communities with people potentially going in the store and stealing food, because to them that's moral. They're hungry. I'm kind of bring it back to that turtle question.
Great. I'm glad you're taking us there. To me, the biggest one there is this point you're making about what's going to happen if SNAP isn't there, and it's going to be a lot of looting. And I was just reading about this yesterday because it turns out in New York, when these programs started, they didn't start because we were just like, hey, let's be nice. Guys, government never does that. Okay. Listen to me. Government never does that. Okay. Do you want to know why SNAP was started? It wasn't called SNAP, but do you want to know why SNAP was started? It's because New York was a fucking shithole. It was covered in loot. It was being looted every minute. Okay. I know some of you are like, dude, this is New York. It's, you're going to want to get looted there. Like, why would you go to New York and not get robbed? Like, this is kind of part of the experience, right? But back then, there was really no way to even have a business. There was really no way to open. And it became so difficult because of something that we've talked about on this show a lot here, which is called entitlement. That entitlement is a kind of built-in innate ability for you to supplant laws just so you can survive. And I would argue that some of the smallest birds, the chickadee, is considered a war bird in Native American culture. And the reason why this is a very tiny bird. It's literally got a name called chickadee. Chickadee, it's chickadee. I'm sorry, when I get into mythological animism, I turn into a chickadee. Sorry, but the chickadee, I can't. Stop it, James. Stop it. The chickadee. Okay. The chickadee knows that it's hungry. And you will watch a chickadee bully a blue jay. You will watch it bully a crow. It doesn't freaking care. It does not care. And the reason why it doesn't care is because it's hungry. We've discussed this word entitlement. And one of my biggest issues with the white disenfranchisement is I don't want us to blow it like with Hitler. Oh, God, James. No, I didn't say that out loud. Don't worry. No one heard that, James. No one heard it. You guys didn't hear that, right? I don't want us to blow it like we have in the past in other models that are completely worthy of discussion, where you have a populace that has spent years harboring, building up the juicy juice of entitlement to love their fatherland, to tap into this conceptual idea that I am worth more. And that the second that you are worth more, your head is chopped off because you stood too tall. And that this happens not because Europe, but because Germany could not believe. And as long as you cannot believe, please hear me out. Don't go ahead and clip this. If you're going to clip this, fine, but at least clip this part too. Okay? at least clip this part too. The reason why Hitler failed is because he was fronting. He was fronting for a society that loved the dream of entitlement, but was not willing to put in the work. And if you feel disenfranchised, but you do not have enough juice to lift yourself up, you will cater to and serve and vote for and follow anyone else who does. And I would argue that Trump, not that he has disenfranchisement. I don't think this guy is capable of having things like that. He just owns things. Having something is very different than owning things. If you don't know that, if you don't know a proof of that, I want you to hear the word Twitter, that you can go to Twitter. It's Twitter. And even though there's a website called x.com, and even though it's branded everywhere, you guys know what I mean, which means that you can own something but not have it. And someone else can own something, but you still have it. This is a very crucial part of energy, the very crucial part of the prawn economy, and the chickadee gets it. He gets it. And so if you have this sense of entitlement and you're trying to practice and you're trying to build up like Germany did, if you assign a surrogate to do that work for you, Madama, that's it. It's not Madama, but Admiral Madama, right? New York is Battlestar Galactica, and they're going to vote in a new Admiral Adama. Let's just say that. That guy is going to do the same thing. That people are so afraid of how much weight it takes to be disenfranchised, and they still feel disenfranchised, that they will offload that responsibility into a talk show host, into a politician, into a song, into a band, into a white Christian nationalist campus movement funded by the Jews. I'm just hypothetically, it's not even guys. It's not even hypothetical. It's not even that. So when you think about why MAGA is spending so much time, as our caller from Portland said, $58.4 billion on foreign aid, $39 per person, per taxpayer, per year for SNAP. And if you see people getting off, and you are definitely seeing people get off on not having to pay SNAP, it's showing you the same thing. How is it the same thing? If you do not feel entitled to being generous, you will have to take SNAP away. What are taxes? Taxes are generosity forced from you through a monopoly on violence. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. Taxes or generosity forced from you through a monopoly on violence. And if you work for a company or if you want to get a house loan, you're going to have to pay alms to the government. And I think probably what suffers the most with people when it comes to paying taxes is not letting go. And the reason why they cannot let go is because they are practicing entitlement. Children are some of the most generous playmates, and they're also the most selfish. And before we label each of the ones we don't like as lesbians, so we can feed them to to Brad's food program from Atlanta, which I think Brad's got a plan. I'm just glad someone's bringing a plan. Before we feed those people to them, we would first recognize that there's a rising desire to feel entitled enough to be generous, and that we can't afford that. And so when you're looking at Republicans, even though they've paid taxes, even though they feel powerful from paying those taxes, they actually still own that money. In their mind, they still own that money. And because they still own that money, they feel as if it belongs to them. And if it belongs to them, they get to say shit like they're saying now with SNAP. I don't want foreigners eating. What is SNAP? Thank you, Pedro. Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. Excuse me. SNAP is basically what used to be welfare. Brad from Atlanta, you still on the line? Or is this someone else?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I took my meds and cured my schizophrenia. So I was just wanting to contribute to the conversation on the snap there, and the interesting thing to me is I think Renee from Portland was saying 39. This is splitting hairs, right? But it was $36 a year, which was, you know, funny just how the numbers work out, because it breaks down to basically 10 cents a day, right? And so and that's in just the literal math of it, right? And so the whole dynamic of using Snap is the fact that it captures the imagination in such a way with that crowd that it feels like a victory. When you put into context that you wouldn't even notice, you know, if you went to just your fast food restaurant and you paid 10 cents more for that burger that day, you wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, or a coffee shop.
Like, that's how,
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, go. But that's just incredible to me how it gets the attention pulled so far into such a small place to focus on something that's so insignificant, but it creates so much rage, which to me is interesting, how the psychology of it plays and the disenfranchisement, because the very idea in the first place that because it's based on someone getting something that you don't get, but you got more of, but the way that when you create this system, because I think it's partly intentional, I'll ask your opinion on that, James, but that it was created in a sense to where it trains some people to use the system or live in this way, and so that it's rage bait is what I'm saying. Sure. Almost so that people can focus on that and say welfare is bad because look at these people. And I'm wondering, do you think that's somewhat intentional?
Yeah, I appreciate this, Brad. Thank you. I think that God, this is going to be so tricky to explain because I lose most people right here. I lose people in the they. I lose people in the, is this a flaw because of the way the system is set up? Or is this a flaw because of the way people use it? And, or because of what people want, I should say. And to me, the entitlement answer fixes that. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that when I look at it this way, I see a child that wants to play with toys, that needs the companionship of others to play with them, but cannot let go of his block. And he can't let go of his block. It's not because he's evil or selfish. It's because he hasn't learned how to process pranic energy that way. And the reason why he hasn't is because he's still a slave. But this is where I lose you because, not you, Brad, I don't know where you're at on this, but this is where we lose people because I don't know how to have a conversation in today's world about slavery. I literally don't know how to discuss it because as soon as you discuss slavery as some sort of valid...
We've been hacked by the CCP thugs.
Sorry, we've got
fuck
a massive
niggers,
issue.
fuck niggers.
Wow. Okay, so who just called in? That was iPhone. Right on, buddy. Let's, we're actually not on video, so the person that just called in to show a bunch of butt humping, let's see. Actually, it's not going to be able to work that way. I knew, this is great that we're having remove. Cool. So, this is pretty awesome. We just had our first, what would you call that? What do we call this? This would be a hack? No. Troll? No, I don't know what to call that. Someone just came in and just started saying a bunch of bad stuff. So yeah, this is welcome to Wolfman Jack, guys. This is gonna freaking happen. In fact, I think I could probably you know what? I actually like that this happened. I actually like it. Okay, we're hearing the word troll. That works. I don't know. Trolls are pretty cool. That was pretty exciting though, wasn't it? I felt titillated. I don't know about you. I feel very titillated. So there's probably a setting where like everyone's mute by default. I should probably learn to set that up. Don't you guys think? I should probably learn to set that up. So meeting info. Nah, we'll do it later. We'll have fun. I probably shouldn't have said we'll do it later. What does lock meeting do? Enable waiting room. Hey, there we go. Enable waiting room. You've enabled the waiting room. I think now if someone joins, that is the jungle. You're absolutely right, Pedro. That is the jungle. I think if someone joins now, they're in the waiting room. Can you guys hear me? Is anyone in this room? Are you guys okay?
We're here, but we can't. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now, sir.
Okay, I think yes. Yeah, we were. Wow, that was quite a.
You guys okay?
We're okay.
The bunker got stored.
Stirring some soup. I was stirring soup, and I heard this weird sound and looked at the screen and oh my.
Yeah, free speech, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you and you decided to make soup.
That guy.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, free speech indeed. So this is part of the them. This is actually why we end up building more smart cities, more law, more more walls, is precisely because this happens. So to me it's like Nate's saying in chat, nothing is broken. You're right. This is exactly the avenue that we're living in right now, and it's just part of how it goes. So back to the block thing, if you don't mind. If you have trouble letting go of your blocks, and this would be a MAGA taxpayer, you're going to suffer. You're not going to feel good. You're going to feel that government is here to give you things. Then you're going to start to disparage SNAP. You're going to wander around assuming that SNAP could only be used for shitty food, or that people are using it for alcohol, or that people are using it for chocolate. This is my favorite. I'm watching Twitter. People are bitching over SNAP being used for chocolate, and I'm still here in my head. It's like, okay, so let me get this right. You want government to put food out, but you want it to taste like shit. You want it to have no life, no flavor. You want people who are using SNAP to be groveling. You want them to hold their hat in their hands and beg you for this thing. And what is the power structure there? What is the energy that is transpired when you have this kind of thing happen, right? This to me shows you, I would argue, Brad, if you're still there on the line, this is part of why I think SNAP is such a legitimately chronically important issue, but such a petty, ridiculous non-issue from any other way. The military uses SNAP. The states actually use SNAP as a kind of tax-free benefit to pay people. Believe it or not, walking into a grocery store, someone please quote me wrong on this because this could have changed over the last several years, but even like buying a warm rotisserie chicken, like instead of going to KFC, you're going to walk into a grocery store and you're going to buy a rotisserie chicken that's baked, not fried. And you want to take that home to your kids, and it doesn't count because some MAGA fuck says, well, it can't be warm. You can't be giving these people fucking warm food. It's got to be cold. It can't have flavor. And we get to call everyone who eats it a low-life piece of shit parasite. What does this tell you about your potlatch? Go ahead, Brad.
Beautiful how petty it really is, like you say, because the fact that the welfare program in general, there's just think of the fact that the percentage of people who are actually legitimate, like even the hardcore MAGA wouldn't say someone who's retired who worked fell on hard times, or you know what I'm saying. They key in on a specific sort of group that they imagine in their mind. So what that really means is it's even getting so picky about what food's bought and what where. It's like they've focused in on this one image they've created, and it's kind of like that's that. Now we're sitting here talking about that they got the SNAP benefits that they also, I think, have to tell you that they've taken the SNAP benefits away. If that's a victory, right, and they've got their block and they won't give it, when they're faced with the fact that it's actually veterans, right, and you would think that they would have the utmost sort of sympathy or vibe with veterans. But veterans use it.
Of course not.
Kids use it. Disabled.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you're really talking, even like if you're talking keying in on this, like, what would you say even the percentage of that 10 cent a day that goes to SNAP is even grafted in that first place? So you're probably talking less than a penny that you could even, so that's how petty it really is. And that's what's beautiful about it, that I think, is because it does demonstrate exactly what you're talking about, where the problem is really at.
Yeah, it shows it where it is. And the food kitchens today, just the other day, have come out and said, we're not designed for this. We're not designed to support a nation that doesn't have SNAP. That's not. It doesn't work that way. And someone in the comments just brought up a really good example. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to use this. I'm not going to say your name in case you do because of what you type later. But when I was a drug addict, I would sell my food stamps for 50 cents to the dollar just to turn it into cash. Then just go eat at soup kitchens. And I'm probably a little bit different on this. I've never seen a problem with that. I've never been that attached to that money to where I've been like, I have to fucking follow you. I have to tag you like an animal, which animals are great, by the way, so I don't mean that lowly, but like I have to fucking tag you so I can trace where you go, because I want to make sure that if you get that money, that it's for something that I deem worthy of you to eat. And when you do a can drive, if anyone, I used to do can drives all the time for the wildlife center I worked at. And guys, I want to fucking tell you something. The kind of shit that people give you during a can drive is fucking ridiculous. They basically put their garbage into a bag and go to you and give you their garbage, and they want to feel good about it. They want to feel good about it. They want you to stop and write them a fucking tax receipt for how good they feel about it. And this is a clutching, isn't it? It's a clenching and a clutching on the one thing that government could give you, which is the feeling of generosity. That by you being in a tax bracket, you are now placed into a special class with special privileges that most of the world doesn't have. Nomadic people do not have this privilege. We call nomadic people homeless now. We don't call them nomadic, we call them homeless, because we believe that being nomadic is inherently wrong in this country. And when you start to look at why it's wrong, I think you get into why there's a war over this issue and why SNAP is such a crucial battleground. Part of it is we have this. We're not going to release it until you do our bidding. That's just standard revenge politics. But deeper beneath that is a deep resentment for being a citizen, falling for the bullshit story that we need to tax you long enough to finish the Civil War. And only after we finish that Civil War, we will remove these taxes, and this thing never happens. And it never happens, which builds up resentment because we end up killing people with the money. And you're caught in a trauma bond. It's a trauma bond. So it's even more complicated than that. And until enough of us, I don't even get to fit in this, until enough people are proud enough of the taxes that they pay, really it means that they would have to stand taller and recognize their position on the Hermetic ladder, right? That there's a certain position there that they have. I'm going to take a quick moment to say, I think you guys can hear me in the Zoom. I want you to know that I've got the Zoom. Actually, no, the Zoom was hot. I was going to say someone. Okay, great. Great. Appreciate you guys watching James Drew here. Why don't we take a little break here and watch Alex Jones crowning? If anyone has any thoughts on Snap, it's still time. Jump into the Zoom. You can raise your hand. We'll discuss this more. Let's take it to Alex Jones. I told you he was pregnant. Oh, I was telling you about how it works, guys. You got your little Stargate. You got your little choo-choo, and the choo-choo comes into the star. Oh, you better hit subscribe. Better hit subscribe. Take it away, Alex. Take it away.
You're a bunch of
Whoops.
cowards, and you're idiots. You think getting in my face makes me feel bad? These people are all sick of your shit. They're Americans. They're not traitors and scum like you. Trying to work in your life. You see that big fat stupid slob? You think your ridicule matters to me? You're a follower, you're not a leader.
Hey, what are you do?
What doing your clearing, boy? You ain't tough.
What are you do, Alex?
You're fucking anarchist, bro. Come on.
What are you do, Alex?
No, you're the one acting all powerful, punk. You're the one telling people eat shit. You ain't nothing, boy. Fuck out of here, man. I know, jack shit.
Why do you guys think Alex behaves that way? Like, have you guys considered that? See, I see a man that has a deep addiction. I see a very addicted man. And the man is so addicted, he will say whatever it takes to get the attention that he needs. It's a limbic addiction. He's addicted to fame because witness is one of the most powerful drugs we have in the world. And until we start to notice how powerful that drug is, we're going to need other drugs in the way. JKDX7EX, there is no money. What do you want? If that's posed to me, let's talk about that. There's no money. So I guess you're alluding to the 39 trillion. I think it's $39 trillion debt. That's not money. That's not money. When MAGA, I'm just going to use MAGA now because they're the ones that are really, really, really pissed about the snap. I don't mean to call this guy MAGA because I'm glad he said it. Thank you, JK. But that's not money. That's never been money. That you will see a proto-economy, just like Nate explained in the chat, that he will sell his, he said I could say his name, that he could sell his food stamps. That's good. And the fact that he was getting 50 cents on a dollar proves to you how economy works. Guys, you don't get to appoint a government to be in charge of an economy. This is a fallacy. It will always be a fallacy. It will never not be a fallacy. If you don't believe me, I want you to go to Africa and take a bunch of cell phone minutes, and you will live like a king. For 10,000 years, you will live like a king because you have more cell phone minutes than anyone else. The government didn't do that. The government will never do that. There will always be an economy that's greater, more powerful, more realistic than the petrodollar. It will always exist. You are looking at people that do not know how to worship prana, and they are sucking the teats of the petrodollar, insisting that we have to keep this, that this is the only thing that has value. And when you watch MAGA saying that we have to let go of SNAP because of the deficit, they do not know what the fuck they're talking about. They're playing with monopoly money, and they've forgotten that it's not real. It's not real. And if you let go of your taxes and you call it potlatch, and you push instead of pull. I want you to push instead of pull. I'm such a fucking hypocrite right now on this. I haven't paid taxes in a long time. It's half the time it's conscientious objector. The other half the time it's like, holy shit, I got railroaded by an alchemical transition. And that transition changed me. It put me in a completely different orbit. I had to find myself again. I started writing. At no point was I ever in any kind of mental state to tell the fucking state what my estimated income was for the next 90 days. This was the most stupidest idea I've ever heard. And I haven't had a job since I was 25. I've been self-employed since I'm 25. I've always found, why the fuck are you taxing me? Why are you charging me $5,000 for creating my own job? If you don't know, it used to be that if you're self-employed, you just had to give the government $5,000 because fuck you. And that $5,000 is probably $12,000 now, but don't quote me because I haven't fucking paid that shit in forever because I don't know how to conscientiously swallow that until I have more monopoly money. And if I had more monopoly money, I would pay for taxes for no other purpose than for alchemical to feel that my immune system was stronger. That'd be it. And then once I paid that, I would work on what I'm working on now. This is how far behind I am with you guys on this. Those of you who pay. I don't even know who pays. Because if you're paying into this system, you're not even using real money. In fact, the system making you pay is probably the only thing propping up the petrodollar is even real. But you are not going to convince anyone of that until they have enough entitlement to realize I'm my own currency. And that the trade barter economy is proving that. It allows you to slowly learn what having your own economy means, what having your own value means. And everything has a street value. Even your fucking mouth, even your knees, even your body parts, even your kidneys, even your gold teeth, even the organs in your hair. And that as long as something has value in the world, we will trade that on a market because this is how we survive. And survival is Maslow's pyramid. And having Maslow's pyramid is a threshold that you reach. And if you reach that threshold, you break the surface and you become sanctimonious. You become entitled. You enter into a different gear, and anyone else who's still below Maslow's pyramid calls you the fucking enemy. Have you ever heard the word eat the rich? Have you ever watched Bernie Sanders? Have you ever watched Admiral Adama, who's going to be the new mayor of New York? the same way that the MAGA chases the transsexual, there will be another group that will chase the billionaire. We will always find the smallest percentage, the 1 to 3% of a population, and hunt them. Lesbian witches. It's all lesbian witches. And we are learning how to be generous. We are learning how to satisfy this thing. Cryptocurrency could be used to offset natural debt. I think you're absolutely right, Papuus. I think you're absolutely right. Cryptocurrency could be used to offset natural. He's right. And one of the hardest things I've ever done is try and convince the truth movement that cryptocurrency is worth looking at. They hear the word crypto. They hear the word digital. And then they do something that's kind of weird. They claim that cryptocurrency has your identity attached to it. This fucking cracks me up. It cracks me up because I buy things sometimes. Some of the things I buy are not legal. And in order for me to buy that thing, I have to use cash. And in order to use that cash, I have to drive to an ATM that has a camera. And I have to put in my ATM card. And inside that ATM card, it has my address, my name, my social security number. It has my driver's license number. It has a picture of me every time I approach. It only allows me $400. It forces me to not do major things with my money between the hours of 4 p.m. and 10 a.m. the next day. Between those times, I don't even have access to my money. And the same people that are bitching about Snap are terrified, maybe not the same, but they're terrified of cryptocurrency, when in fact, if you go on the ledger and I send you money, there is not one bit of personal data that is attached. There's not name, there's not a camera picture, there's not a fingerprint, there's not an address, there's a crypto address. And if you look back at, because some people might fall into the category, well, that means it's anonymous. No, it's not anonymous. You don't want to know why crypto is not anonymous? It's because you have to buy it with cash. You have to buy it with petrodollar. And as long as you buy it with petrodollar, they're going to be able to trace you to that. So you have a war over some of the best things that would help us are used in war as a fodder against each other. You have it that way. And you have people that are pretending that we can hunt down the private market and we will go underneath the bridge and we will fucking shoot a guy in the face if he tries to exchange his Snap money for cash, because we're still attached to that shit. Because that's my money, says Tim Pool. That's my money, says some other dude. And some other dude. And everywhere you go, that's my money. That's my money. The taxes should pay for things that we need, only citizens. And when you hear this, you're watching a child saying, that's my ball. And then you have to tell the child, well, don't you want to play with your balls? And then the child's like, oh my God, how did you know I was playing with my balls? And you're like, what, don't you want to play with your ball? And when you start to say yes, you find out, well, in order to play with your ball, you're going to probably want to play with other people. And if you want to have that, then you're going to need to do something different with your logic here. Then the child naturally adjusts himself. Are we really saying that you're going to enjoy your meal if you walk past a bunch of starving people on the street that are looting, that are probably going to fucking mug you for your to-go bag? Are we saying this is a better society, that this is somehow more fair? I don't know. We have another caller on the line. Who is that? State your name. Where are you from?
This is Reginald from Dallas. I was just curious your take if you think that we're going to see in time open up where we're paid in crypto, and then that's a new avenue to get off the petrodollar.
I see. Universal basic income. Is that what you mean?
Well, I don't mean. I mean getting paid in it.
Yeah, getting paid by who?
Like you say, bartered pay, but by another individual for services.
Yes. My last car.
In crypto.
Thank you, Brad. I think we're having some issues with the audio. It could be actually because the other parties are muted, including me. But actually, Brad, try that again. I'm going to mute myself too. Sorry, it was Reginald. Reginald, try that again.
No, I was really just getting at it. If you think that possibly in time, the weight of the petrodollar is just causing like as we learn to market ourselves, like you're self-employed, you've been doing this for a while, and I've done some of that as well. But I've is the possibility opens up more to get paid in crypto. You know what I'm saying? That market maybe just comes online as an alternative.
Yeah.
To where right now, like you're saying, you have to buy crypto with petrodollars.
Yep.
But once the crypto market's there, like I said, is that not a valid form of exchange?
Yeah, it is. Isn't it funny?
Like we do petro?
Yeah, isn't it funny? I'm sorry, you probably couldn't hear me. Isn't it funny that that you can? I bought my car on Craigslist under $5,000. Still running. Fucking love that thing. With crypto. Isn't it funny that I went to one of the most low base like marketplaces, one of the most low key marketplaces there is, and that there was the first place that I was able to buy something with crypto. So it already works. It's already happening. And you're just looking at the old world trying to stop it through shame, through fear, through anything else. And everything is dangerous. And a lot of people may hear me defend one thing and then they think that means that I find some moral absolute that we must have it all the time, 24/7. And that's not the case too. When I hear someone argue about crypto, I know that there is an issue right away because they are thinking that crypto is all the same thing. That every cryptocurrency is the same, that they all work the same, and therefore they are the same. Or even worse, that there's some kind of universal underlying thing underneath it, which causes something else to happen. And the people that are afraid of that, let me be really clear. Let me be clear, as a politician would say. The people that are afraid of that, you are afraid of something that has already happened. You are terrified of something that is already here. And I cannot think of a better way to enter into a state of denial is to take something that's already wrapped around you and create it further away from you and insist that that might be coming soon. This would be the closest thing that you could have to accepting a reality, to accepting what's happening to you. It's more of a lesson for us than for anyone else. I knew it would be a big thing when the Bitcoin white paper came out, but I was too lazy to look it up, says Pedro. This is actually, Pedro, I think that it's actually Pedro Monteiro Mariano. I hope I did that right. I hear this too. And I would argue that if you think that you missed the crypto train, that you actually aren't quite ready for self-worth. That Gaia has given you crypto and that there's still time. There's still time. And you've told yourself there's no time. And you've told yourself there's no time, which means you do not have to benefit from it now. And that you're waiting to benefit from that now because you do not feel that you are entitled enough. Pedro, please consider this. Please consider this. Have you guys done the math on where Bitcoin would have to be globally? That on a global market level, the price of crypto is still, I'd say maybe 1/100th of what you would expect it to be once it comes online. So there's a lot of fear, and the fear needs a lot of work before we're ready to fully be entitled by it. We've got a new caller. This is probably our first version caller. I had a plant in the audience. I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's not Brad. Don't think it's Brad. Okay, it's not him. But Richard K has his hand up. Grace, I'm gonna turn your video off only because I don't know if I have the bandwidth for this. But Richard, I'm going to ask you to unmute, please. And you're on the air. Your name's tell us your name. Where are you from? We're actually waiting for Richard to unmute. I know his name's Richard. He's going to tell us his name anyway. There you go. Go ahead, Richard. Okay, Richard, I'm going to mute you because you've got some echo issues. That's okay. If you can solve those echo issues, please do. Richard, I've muted you again because there's some echo issues. It sounds like you have the show on in the background. I'd love to have you on though. It'd be great. Also, Grace, if you have something, raise your hand. I'll know. I can call on you. And if anyone else does, hey, I appreciate you guys helping us with the call-in show. This is the first time I've tried this. We already had someone yelling nigger. That was pretty cool, right? That was fun. So, yeah, we this could be really, really cool. We've installed a waiting room now, so that also helps. I think that'll help us. So yeah, if anyone has anything to say in there, or if Richard,
I'll kick a nigger into the slam dunk a nigger.
Okay, so Richard's not going
Five filthy blacks.
Richard's not going to work out there. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's see, Richard. Let me just take the time here to put you somewhere else there. Oh, okay, you guys already got him. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's great. This is fun. That's second time. That guy actually showed his face. That was cool. He actually showed his face. Proud of you, Richard. I was proud of you. You're actually showing your picture there to validate it. White power, buddy. White fucking power. Guys, I think white power is sort of like that desperate attempt to find the entitlement. I've published this even yesterday. I think that white disenfranchisement needs to be less cowardly. And I think right now the closest thing that we can find to allowing white disempowerment to even shine in this world is to allow anonymous people to call each other nigger right now. This is what you would call the starter seed. That until you get enough people that have poked through, it's almost like there's a glass ceiling on entitlement, and you need people who are willing to push through to find some sort of way to feel okay about entitlement. So this is, again, this goes back to what was happening in Germany too, where there's this quest for the fatherland and you just can't get up. And you need to artificially inseminate some way of feeling that way. And you know, we do the best we can. So we end up with displays of kind of more weaker minds. I don't even mean this like in an insulting way, the Richard who just said that, but it's like you have to throw childish things into the pot. You have to behave in that way until you can learn to emerge and just stand up for yourself. This is kind of where I appreciate Nick Fuentes. I appreciate that someone's out there. I've said this a long time. I think it'd be really cool if states could just experiment again, because I would love for people to know what Athens, Georgia is. When I say Athens, Georgia, I mean, I would love to be able to see where people want to start a white supremacist town. In my mind, this would be a faster way of alchemizing, a faster way of letting people get their stuff out. To express things, because sunlight is such a beautiful cleanser. It really is. First and last caller's show for J2. I don't know if it's the last, Nick. Should I be embarrassed? Is that, I mean, seriously, let me know. Is this, should I own that someone just said that in like a bad way? Because, tell me if you want me to, if this is bad, let me know. I think it's kind of cool in a way. I don't want to do every show about this. I'd rather just prep something for you. But I also like the fact that we actually could just open the windows sometime and just hear what comes in, you know? And like I've said, I think I'm compassionating this pretty well. When you look at that sense of white disenfranchisement, you're going to end up with this kind of, it's more of an internal war, isn't it? It's more of an internal war with the people that really haven't learned how to find themselves. It's expensive. You know, the closest thing I can come up with to describe this to you, believe it or not, is flat Earth. I remember when I was in the truth movement and I first came across flat Earth, and it got me really mad. I got pissed at it. I got pissed that there were people walking around telling me the Earth was flat. I was insulted by them. And if I would have been more insulted, I probably would have called them tards, or, you know, flat tards, or some kind of name or whatever. It would have been part of my journey. So you see someone like Nick Fuentes, you see someone that's maybe, not maybe, you see a white nationalist, you see a Christian nationalist, you see a Charlie Kirker, you see all these people, and your detestment of them is directly relational to how weak your field is in their presence. That's a big one. And how much you abhor it. Those are two different things. You can abhor something and it not be weak, or you can have something that takes you over, but you still want it. You don't know these things yet. A lot of us relate pain to morality still, where if this is uncomfortable, it must be immoral. And here's the irony here. Technically, that's right. But until you learn your antenna is clean, what I mean is until you've learned to find your own antenna's frequency and subtract that from what's coming into the antenna, you're not going to be able to use what feels good as a system of morality. Until then, you're actually going to have to use what you hate to decide who you are, and it takes a long time to get through the Dagobah there. The Dagobah is so expensive because you have to go through your friends. You have to find a cult, a group of people that either agree or don't agree with you. And then once they either agree or don't agree, then and only then are they able to try on this new thing, like I'm going to be generous with Snap. One of my good friends, Steve, when I hope that I didn't insult him. I really love this guy's heart, but he was arguing against Snap because anyone that would give anyone else food is a form of slavery and oppression. But I think that we need slavery. We have chattel slavery. We have indentured slavery. We've had these systems for a long time. Chattel slavery still exists. In the last 50 years, I think, over 100 countries have actually ended slavery, and none of them have had to kill anybody to do it. And when you start to parse what slavery is, you see that it's a very simple, sophisticated ladder. A ladder that is climbed through consciousness. And as consciousness grows, you end up with a ladder that moves you from slave to serf. Serf is more connected to the land than slave is. And then from serf, you go into indentured servant. You're still a slave, but now you've been promised through a sheet of paper. You've been endowed by a sheet of paper that promises you something will happen in a certain amount of time. And then there's blue-collar worker. And then there's management. And then there's self-employed. And then there's owner. And then there's billionaire. You have all of these systems that are in place. All of these are ladders. And the ladder of consciousness shows you where people are, and more importantly, how they react. When someone gets really mad at Snap, I would say that you're looking at someone that's on the ladder of slavery. And that ladder of slavery shows a kind of progress that's slowly happening. And that progress is going to only be reflected where someone is on that ladder is a direct result of their abhorrence and their secret fetish for what's below them. This is the ladder of consciousness, and it works. Slave, serf, indentured servant, blue-collar worker, management, self-employed, owner, billionaire. And your people will hate billionaire if you're not ready. People will hate bosses when you're not ready. If you hate management, you're probably a blue-collar worker. If you hate blue-collar worker, you're probably an unemployed. These things, and it doesn't just work one way. People tend to think, excuse me, that everyone is moving in the same direction. If you doubt this, guys, I'm seeing some chatter here. I want you to tell me one upwardly mobile society ever in the history of civilization that did not incorporate slavery successfully. Can you please tell me that? Because I can't find one. It doesn't exist. What exists is a deep shame of slavery. And the reason why that shame of slavery exists is because we're still in it. What do you think it means to go to work? Do you honestly think that that's different than slavery? Do you honestly think that having a society where most of the people around you believes that up to 45% of your primary resources should be given to a psychopathic cabal? This is slavery. And one of the biggest things that makes slavery possible is our ability to deny it. That this really is the biggest force that's keeping us from the entitlement of what that system is, of what it looks like. So this is some good thinking. Speaking of Steve, Zarelith, you're on the line. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Hey,
how you doing? Good.
My friend had that biting, nasty little conversation with you, and I love you to death because I love what you did with it, and that's why I'm still here, my man. Man, deep in my subconscious, I always rolled with that gift of ball lecture way back in the day, and I had to play devil's advocate with it. Because there's got to be a bridge gap between what the left thinks it's talking about, the right thinks it's talking about.
Yep.
And so I needed to push that because it was just like, James needs to see the gift of the ball, and then it'll all unfold for him. And I think I did that, whether you realize it or not. That's why I love you, James.
I love you too. I appreciate that, Steve. Yeah, you definitely rubbed me the wrong way more than anyone else, honestly. It's kind of adorable.
Real quick, guys. Steve got an echo going on to let you know.
Yeah, in fact, I think it might have been that I got rid of that halfway through. Can someone in the chat tell me that? Hey, guys, I appreciate you helping us out here, getting this caller show in. Also would love to know, I already think that this is working because 103 of you are watching. So I'm thinking you guys are for the call-in show, but it'd be great if we could just iron out the kinks. So I think that maybe there's definitely is an echo, Zarelith. But I think I might have gotten rid of it if I turned down, but I'm waiting for all of them. Pedro, does that mean you're saying everyone has a...
I was on speakerphone. Apologies.
Okay, great. We have another call. Caller, you're on the line. Go ahead, please. State your name. Where are you from? Just give it a sec, guys. Hey, Renee, I'm talking to you. Oh, she just lowered her hand. Yeah. So, Zarelith, doing a little bit of pushback. Guy annoys the shit out of me. Zarelith. Really, fucking annoys the shit out of me. So, some of the stuff he says. He's like, he waits for you to be in the worst possible situation, and then he just starts pushing against you. And he's just like, hey, how's it going? And that's his personality. I wish I could say he's consistent. If he was consistent, I could work with it more. But it's so off the cuff sometimes that it's like, I got to have all my Wheaties. To be able to do that. Let's do a quick, call in is fun. Oh, great. Not just Zarelith. All Zoom is echoing. That's interesting. The echo adds a nuance to the call. Thank you, Jay. Look at that. JKTX7EX throwing his... What if you did written questions? Yeah, Chasing Mountain Builders. If you guys want to write a question and I can see it, I would love that. I would definitely do that. But maybe we can work out the kinks too and figure out why the echo stuff's saying. So it's weird that I don't hear that. That is weird that I don't hear the echo. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That is kind of weird. Yeah, I'm glad he came on too, Zarelith, says Brad. And thank you for the super chat, Ajax. Thank you very much. So if you consider that we're living in a culture and we're trying to find more entitlement. I do want to point out that I think one of the biggest shows of progress in this way is the interview with Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. If you guys don't know, Tucker Carlson is a conservative talk show host. He used to be on Fox News. He's no longer on Fox News anymore. Nick Fuentes is a far-right organizer of the Groper movement, widely described by mainstream outlets and researchers as white nationalist, anti-Semite, and Christian nationalist. I did not know that Nick Fuentes fell into the realm of Christian nationalist, but that shows you I don't listen to the guy. It's not because I disagree with him. I don't listen to it because I'm busy putting on my own show. But the fact that Tucker Carlson gets ousted from Fox and then he has on Nick Fuentes, I do want you to understand that the radius of the resolution of consciousness has expanded. We are no longer in 1080p mode, ladies and gentlemen. We are in 8K, 4K, 8K, and 16K. And that these different forms of K are reaching for broader patterns. You will see new colors in the world. We already have those. You will see new frequencies. New frequencies will exist that you didn't think before. Anything that used to be binary will become a quantum or a spectrum. All the things that you thought were simplified are not. Even today, we're noticing with Trump that power is never given in laws. It's never been endowed in laws. It's purely endowed in the cojones of a person. Trump's showing you that. So the world is becoming clearer. This is what I mean by white sun. We have the white sun coming. And the fact that there's even a sliver of a difference now between Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, and Fox News is proving that. It's showing you that the ripple is expanding. And as the diameter gets bigger, you end up with more hours in that clock, more units of separation, more degrees, so to speak. We have a caller in the room with her hand up. Go ahead. Name, where are you from?
Hi, James. Hi, this is Renee again from Portland. I'm just reporting from the chats. We have a question from Nick Lassifair. Question: how to cope with immense misanthropy? How to cope with immense misanthropy? And I'm not even sure what misanthropy means, quite frankly, James. So this is a good question for me, too.
I'm going to look up misanthropy. I've heard that word, but that doesn't mean anything. Misanthrope.
Misanthrope, yeah.
A person who dislikes humankind. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brad.
You got it.
Misanthrope.
Misanthrope.
Ooh, misanthrope. Let's hear that again.
Misanthrope.
Oh, look at that. Misanthrope, a person who dislikes humankind and avoids human society. What's the question again, Renee? Can you read that again?
How to cope with immense misanthropy.
Yes. How to cope with hating society. This is great. What a freaking great question. Thank you, Renee from Portland.
Yeah, I wanted to hear what you got on that because it's a great question.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. And if any of you guys have more to say on this, keep your hand up. I'm going to lower the volume right now just in case. I'm not sure where the echo is coming from. But you guys tell me. Did you hear an echo with Renee on that? That'd be great to know. While I'm answering this, and if Renee, you have something on this, please weigh in. In fact, all callers have an echo. Thank you. Echo. I'm sorry. I'm actually pausing because I'm thinking. I'm literally thinking, how is that echo getting here? If you hate society, you don't hear an echo now, though. If you, please tell me that in the comments. If it actually could even be that my audio is coming in. Maybe there's no echo here. If you, hate society.
I echo without you. Still,
I would argue this is a healthy thing. Wait, I think I know where the echo is. Oh my God, I think I just solved it.
He's muted for me.
I think I just solved it. I think I just solved the echo. I think I just did. Can you say something, Renee, please?
Hey,
Forgive
James,
me.
am I still echoing everybody out there? Hello.
You sound great to me. I'm a little biased.
Oh, great. Chasing Mound Builder says audio is good. Okay,
Okay,
great.
I think that came in before we did this, though. You kind of got to wait. TV made them do it. You sound great. Thank you, TV made them do it. We're just going to wait for one more person to tell me. I bet you know there's no echo. Pedro says no echo. Nate says no echo. Did you hear an echo from Renee just then? Brad, can you please come on and say something too so we can do a full echo check? Guys, thank you so much for helping us test this.
Check.
Echo check. Hello. I know.
Brad,
echo
that's not funny,
translates to
Brad.
deer and
Brad, I'm going to
Seminole.
hunt you down and take your snap away if you do that.
No.
Okay.
Okay, good. Sounds
great.
good.
Thank you so much,
Great.
guys. That's great. That's great. There's only one of the 17 buttons that have to be turned in a certain way wasn't turned, and now I know. So, can you hear the Zoom? Yeah. Hi, Lori. Good to see you. I'm going to turn them down just in case, but it does look like we have no echo, but you guys can still hear me in the Zoom. Thank you so much for watching James True Live. Appreciate you. I think that hating society, having a distaste for society, this misanthrope, is kind of like good news. I think it's actually more necessary than we think. The reason why I think that misanthrope. I think the reason why is so helpful is because the self would not be able to emerge without an abhorrence for what it's not. Please consider this list again. Please consider this list. We have the ladder of consciousness requires slave, serf, indentured servant, blue collar worker, management, self-employed, owner, billionaire. And that this list, you know where you are based on what you hate. If you have distaste for humanity, I think that you are learning to love the self. And we live in a world that believes you should be selfless. We live in a world that hates the word ego, that despises the word pride, that has turned the word pride in many ways into kind of a butt ritual. And that people see it that way because that's how they want to see it. And if you hate society, it's because you are trying to love yourself. You are trying, and you're going to reach for the hermit. You're going to really resonate with Mark Passio. You're going to really resonate with becoming a hermit. You're going to really resonate with sovereignty movement. You're going to resonate with, I'm going to go to a land where no one's around. I'm going to poop in a hole, and I'm going to build civilization there. And that by doing it there, you are earning enough credits, making a Hajj, so to speak. This is the word for pilgrimage, but the pilgrimage of sweat. And if you were to hike the Appalachian Trail, or if you were to start your own business, or if you were to go through a divorce and survive, if you were to have any kind of vision quest ritual in the modern alchemical world, you would be building something from that. And your despising of society, you hating the government, you looking into conspiracy theories, is you trying to develop your own light. It is you seeking the light to grow yourself in a soil that'll let you find who you are. And it's messy, it's dangerous, it's violent, and the government does not want this. And that doesn't even mean the government's bad. Government's bad, okay? But it doesn't, that's not why. That's not why. People are constantly misunderstanding that they think that somehow you were born fully awake and fully conscious, and that someone tells you a lie and now you're knocked off your horse and you're no longer awake and conscious. And it's not the fucking case. You're a Cabbage Patch Kid. The Greeks coined this phrase. Did you know that? The Greeks invented Cabbage Patch Kids because they saw babies as what basically was a cabbage. It wasn't alive. It didn't have any kind of humanity to it at all. It was a bundle of layers, spitting, needing constant attention. And the psyche grows or it does not grow from that. And one of the biggest failures of anarcho-capitalists, one of the biggest failures of anarchists, the people that are pretending they're anarchists, Jeff Barrick will get on a plane and insist he's an anarchist. You cannot get on a fucking plane and be an anarchist. I know that you think you can, but that kind of anarchy is not real. If you think that we do not live in an anarchistic system, you are lying to yourself. What we have is complete anarchy, and what people are afraid to admit is that slavery is absolutely necessary to develop the self. And that slavery of the self is part of the reason why you find self. If you did not find slavery uncomfortable, you would not find self. If you did not hate the government, you would not find self. If you did not look into conspiracy theories, you would not hate what people call the truth. You would never fucking get there. Shame is your biggest motivator. The only opponent who will ever do harm to you on the mat is your reaction. And then when you start to recognize and swallow your feelings, own your feelings, say these feelings belong to me. What are feelings? They're feelings that you use to morphically resonate and change the environment around you. And your feeling of abhorrence, your sense of I hate society, is you rooting for yourself. And the more that you fetishize that, the more you will find a self. It's true. This is so disgusting. But every time you masturbate as a child, you're building the self. I know it's disgusting. But you are seeking privacy away from the world. You were doing something that you know everyone would find shameful. You were doing something that kind of feels good. And you're doing something that you will keep as a secret for yourself and never share it with anyone else. And all four of those things are the bridge to self. That you decide that your entitlement is more important than what anyone else thinks. And you cannot do that in MAGA. You cannot do that as a lib. You cannot do that following a band of I am relevant when I have numbers. This tweet has, okay, well now it has 3 likes. This tweet has 3 hearts. It has 0 retweets. It has 0 comments. Archaic, Jason from Archaic said, I will not entertain your thoughts, James, because you are not relevant. Jason from Archaics believes the same. He is not ready for a self. And until you have a self, you will lie and manipulate and tell every fucking person in the world anything you can in order to keep that group. Which means I think this beautiful word is the most important in the English language. That's right. It's the most important thing that could ever happen to your psyche.
A person who dislikes humankind and avoids human society.
Scrooge is the seeking of self. Scrooge was rich enough to afford the journey. Scrooge cannot let go because he does not understand that there's more. What do you think comes after sovereignty? You've joined the sovereign movement. You went to the Freedom Under Natural Law conference. You did Passio's 8-week program where you learned to shout at clouds. And now you've come out and you've been ingrained with the tenets of natural law. And they don't mean fucking shit. They don't mean shit because a chickadee can move an entire fucking bird feeder, can sweep the entire fucking thing. And where does he get it? Napoleon. Chickadee's like, I am Napoleon. And he reaches into the tenets of his root and he taps into the very fiber of his being. And he drinks the blood of misanthropy. Is that how you pronounce it? Misanthropy? He drinks the blood of misanthropy. This is how he became himself. This is how it happened. Oh my God, James just got shot down by a lifetime rapist. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, he definitely committed. Archaic's that guy's got a record. I shouldn't. You know what? It's weird. It's so expensive for me to bring it up. It's so expensive. Jason Brashear changed his name to Jason Brashears. He has a very popular channel called Archaic. Everyone inside there is an errant. This means one who wanders aimlessly. He provides clues to suggest that the entire world is controlled by 138, the number 138. This algorithm is seen everywhere. He doesn't actually post proof of that. He instead shows, here's something that happened in 3018 BC, and then here's something that happened on October 4th, 1964. He completely misses how many times the Roman calendar has changed, how many times we've lost track of even years itself, that the best we can do is start to look at comets, and then we're still arguing over, was there a year zero or not? There was, by the way. And that you end up with a Byzantine calendar, which says it's 5789. Then you've got the Hebrew calendar, which right now says 5786 Heshvan. Happy Heshvan Day, by the way. And then you have the Roman calendar, but even the Roman calendar is not what you think. You have the Gregorian calendar too. Then you have Caesar's calendar. Then you have the ancients who didn't consider a solar year as a complete year. There's no way of mapping these onto 138, which is why he's so successful. He has a criminal record. He's felony assault with a sexual battery to a minor with a deadly weapon. Went to prison for many years. But when you join his group, if you bring this up, they will say that you do not belong there, that you have failed the test, and you were unable to see the secrets of this thing without it. I hope I'm answering this question. Written an article about his Omnicron, Chronomicon. I think that's what he calls it. It's a PDF book that he put together in jail. He says that while in jail, he had access to all the sacred texts because, as you know, all the sacred texts are kept in a fucking state prison, which who the fuck knew? Even though when I was there in grand jury, I did a grand jury tour every month. I had to go to jail, and all I saw was Nancy Drew, and the back 30 pages were ripped out because that shit's funny as fuck to prisoners to remove the last parts of a story. They crack that shit up. And you end up with a kind of survival mechanism that develops a prison musk. And most of the world is controlled by prison musk. Trump has prison musk. What can I say? 34-time convicted felons going to convince everybody that they should listen to him because law is important. You end up with these kinds of theories because you do not want to grow on the ladder. And if you don't want to grow on the ladder, you're going to find a sexual predator that you look up to. And if you look up to a sexual predator, you will keep yourself down because you will realize the only way to get past this wrong is to go through him. Jason has posted public danger notices about me to his crew. This is why I feel it's okay. He's announced that I will destroy his community. And he did that because when I read his Chronomicon, or whatever you say it, he was just flat out plagiarizing other people's work. He was declaring Zechariah Sitchin, some of the things he was saying, which that guy's a complete fucking asshole, completely destroyed Egyptology with his popularism in the day, which I think is kind of a tragedy that we should hold him accountable for. But instead, we've got a nation that just sucks that dick so hard. This is why Alex Jones is so popular. So in the first 3 pages of his book, I pointed out some of the plagiarism that was just so blatantly there. This was after he already declared that I was a danger to his community. It wasn't until after that that I started to say, well, why do people fucking love this stuff? And so I read his book, and there's nothing there. What's there is prison musk. What's there is this idea of confidence. Confidence is something you all need. You're going to purposely look for psychopathy in the world to drink from that confidence so you can test ride the posture that it gives you. Andy Kaufman did this with the antivirus movement. He went out and told you all that there's no such thing as virus. And this kind of confidence that he exudes from this is so catchy, it's so contagious that you don't really care about whether or not the facts are there. We'll have to do a whole episode about that. Or someone should ask me a question about it if you want. But you end up in a truth movement where you're surrounded by lies that are even worse than the ones government was telling you. And if you want to stay on board with Andy Kaufman, he's now told you you're going to have to doubt DNA. You're going to have to doubt immunity. You're going to have to doubt contagion. This means when Will Allen pays for the Allen Institute and 50 doctors figure out a way to map the mouse's brain, the very first map that we've ever had of a brain, of a mammalian brain, has been done through utilizing a rabies virus. But you can't say the word rabies virus around these people the same way you can't say Sitchin is on page 2 inside Archaic. The same way I couldn't tell Beth Martin's stream that she had a white supremacist on there, because the truth movement doesn't want truth, they want comfort. And as long as they want comfort, we're going to lack the entitlement to do what we need to do, and we're going to keep worshiping sexual predators. You guys want to know why I don't let Steve on more? Because he watches that shit. He watches that shit, and I don't know how else to pollinate people. I don't know how else to make the world better except for pollinating that maybe, just fucking maybe, we should stop listening to pedophiles. And I think it's kind of progress, because I think technically Jason's like one level above a pedophile, because the woman that he assaulted with the weapon that he changed his name for to avoid you Googling his record was just a little bit older than a child. And so this is progress to me. It's fucking progress. And when you watch all these people go into flat earth, I fucking love cosmology. I want you to go into flat earth. I did not know that you were going to turn it into a fucking bunker, though. And surround yourself with David Weiss, who's going to just say yes to everything. He's going to promise you for 5 years he's going to build a map of how flat earth works. And it never fucking happens. It never fucking happens because these people are not interested in truth. They want you. They want your witness, just like I do. This is why I wrote a book called Technology of Belief. I don't think that I can fairly tell you this is what I think is the truth. All I can tell you is this is what's important to me. You know what's important to me? The trellis of slavery. Understanding your role on it. Understanding that when you pick people like Bashir's to follow, when you pick people like James Drew to follow, when you pick people like Donald Trump to follow, meaning just even give them the time of your day, you are worshiping in a church of witness. And that your witness is the most potent, powerful force in the world, which is why I'm so thankful for it. And you shouldn't trust it with me. My God, if I had thousands of views, I would probably start doing some awful things. I would do some awful things. I would do some awful things because I may not be ready for that much fame. I may not be ready for that kind of thing. I may notice that you guys constantly seem to prefer what I call prison musk, which is just a confidence game. And we want confidence because deep down, here's the big truth. We want confidence. We learn from psychopaths. We learn from people that are farming their psychopathy because of the confidence it brings. The professional wrestler has confidence. He's wearing tight-ass pants and underwear, and he's jumping on people. This is something we want to learn from, because if we can learn from this, we can have it too. And I'm not going to sit there and say that an errant inside the Archaics family is wrong, because I know that they are learning the confidence. Just like when I see someone in Flat Earth who's not actually a zetetic anymore. This is a very important word to me. A zetetic is someone that only builds a framework or a world from his personal experiences. And that when I first entered Flat Earth, I thought that it was a zetetic society, and it's not. It's a fucking cult. It's a cult that wants to insist that we do know something, when the entire time the book Technology of Belief that I wrote is the insistence on mystery. It is the fact that you will never be able to compete with the CIA until you can walk into the poker game and have no fucking clue who has what cards or what the cards mean or what's going to come next. This kind of state is pure jungle. It is so difficult that most of us can't have it. So we utilize the power of these different things, Christian nationalism, Flat Earth, Omicron archaics, to find brethrenship. And when we find brethrenship, we learn to hold the posture just like you would in a yoga class. We learn to tap into these things. And when we do, we get better, which means if I was to shit on archaic, if I was to tell you how bad this is, I would be one of them too. And that's why this is one of the few times you'll hear how I feel. That article was so popular that I wrote on Substack that I had to archive it, because I did not want to even be known or associated with this. And it's actually killed my own growth as a personality. It's killed my growth because I'm not actually able to ride that kind of prana, because I just don't want to be touching it. It's the same way I feel about Owen Benjamin. So many people watch that guy. And I know that so many people, out of all those people, maybe 1%, say, dude, you're fucking lit as fuck. I used to watch Owen Benjamin. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten that email. This is why Owen hates me. I'm a danger to his community. I'm a danger to most of the truth community because I am not here for that. I really, really think that this system is wise as fuck, that Gaia knows more than you. And if you want to know the truth of the situation, I want you to have trust in nature. I want you to have trust in all the lies that we tell each other. I want you to have trust in how crucial it is that we come up with this framework, that we develop this system where we con each other. Because the more we con each other, the more we learn the lessons, the more we feel embarrassed by what we just believed. And I'm not believed that I used to be, I don't even know if you'd call that. I still think I'm a flat earther. I just think that the flat earthers left me because they left Zetetics. See, I don't really lose those things. You may have noticed that I still claim that to be a Christian. Christians fucking hate me. When Owen turned his back on me, I think it was because of all the Christians that were in that place. Within moments, 4,000 people unsubscribed when Owen told them to. About 30 people left shitty reviews on either my books or on my podcast because he told them to. The same thing happened with Archaic. When Jason released the public notice about how James True is a danger to our community, I started getting death threats. People started calling me, texting me. This is what controls America. And if you try and eliminate some of these people, these leaders, it does nothing to change it. Same thing happens if America has a drug problem with fentanyl, why are we going to fucking solve it in Venezuela? Why do we think if we go over to Venezuela, and I know you guys know that's not even why it's there, but if we tighten the border, we don't solve our drug problem. If the problem's real, then we are no longer capable of being ourselves. And if we need government to come in and do this for us, if we need someone to come in and tell you who to like or who to hate, I don't believe in you either if I felt that. I should believe in your ability to be a diehard flat earther. I should believe in your ability to be a bear, to be an archaic errant or whatever, to be a MAGA Republican, to be a hardcore lib. I posted AOC the other day. AOC, Cortez. I can't remember her name, but like a really popular left-leaning figure. I don't think I could have gotten away with that 3 years ago. I don't even know if I was in the mindset where I could have even heard it because I was surrounded by so much social pressure that I have to feel this way and hate this thing and hate this thing and hate that thing. That even when people were calling me Luciferian, I was like, I don't like that. Why didn't I like that? Why the fuck wouldn't I like that label? Even yesterday when I said that, someone goes, well, you still shouldn't call yourself that. Why should I not call myself that? Why should I not? Luciferous. Nociferous. These are both Venus. Ancient Mesoamerica. Do you know how much consciousness had to grow tracking Venus? To track it, first they had to track it as Luciferous. It rises and sets. Then later in the day, it's on the other side and it's Nociferous. Like, what the fuck's happening? But it's not even later in the day. It's like a really long cycle. It takes 255 years to realize that that's Venus. It takes 255 years. We've talked about this. How do you digest something if your long intestine is only a mile long? You're only going to be able to absorb base notes that are a mile long. There are so many more base notes. Venus has a base note that's 255 years. Don't quote me on that. It's something around there. I'm busy. The only way you can digest this information is to be calm. The only way you can be calm is to recognize that the misanthropy is quite natural and that it is showing you yourself and where you're going. And the more you despise someone, they're showing you where your weakness lies. Where you see that. I was very weak when Owen started to do that. I was trying to get my live stream off the ground. I still don't have the same number of subscribers that I had before him. I gave him the idea for a wilderness camp. He's fucking on that place right now. Just loving it. Dude couldn't even join my Patreon to say thanks. He had to tell everybody how evil I was. I have people that watch me that watch him too, and I've had to grit my teeth for years. Consider some of these people my friends. But they have zero loyalty. They don't give a shit about what morals are or how someone behaves. They don't fucking care. Same way MAGA doesn't. So my desire to embrace misanthropy and to step away from the current pedophiles to move into the truth movement, I only found more pedophiles. I only found more. There's only more. There's only more. And you better as fuck not trust me either. Because that would ruin you. It would ruin you. And it would ruin me. It would ruin me. I just need you to let me do the show. That's all I need. And right now I have that. Patrons, thank you so much for letting me do this show. I would go fucking insane if I couldn't do this. And you guys always show up just enough to keep me right. To keep it going. Some of you may notice that I went offline for several. I didn't have enough then. Couldn't afford it. Can't do a show. Don't have it. It places me in a vulnerable position where I'm beholden to you. And as long as I'm beholden to you, you can't fucking trust me either. You can't. I encourage you to simply look at all these feelings. I encourage you to look at the things that you feel guilty about, whether it be in white entitlement, or the guilt over your white entitlement, or the guilt over your lack of white entitlement. I encourage you to feel these ways in a ventral state, in a state where you're not in fear. Because if you can feel these things in a state when you're not in fear, you can consider them and you can alchemize them and you can pull things out of them at just the right time. These things are important. Yeah, this is perfect. Jason Brashears has an episode about the migration of the Israelites. And if you watch that one, he ends up summarizing to his audience that they, white people, are the true Israel kingdom. This is exactly the kind of shit that dude would pull, especially in a prison. Exactly what you do. It gives you the sense of Zionism, which means you're entitled to something that you have not earned yourself. And I believe in entitlement. We just covered it. It shows you that Jason believes that you will never have enough self, that you need a story and a lie so that you can bequeath energy that you do not feel belongs to you. And this is prison musk. There's nothing accurate about it. It sounds good because you're listening to someone who's had to sound good to survive prison as a sexual predator. Do you guys know what they do to sexual predators in prison? What do you fucking think they did to Brashears in prison? What do you fucking think? Because I'll tell you what they did. They finished him. They finished him. And he's so finished, people worship it. They worship the Mashiach. And the Mashiach will tell them everything they need to know because he is finished. He will never come back from morality. How do I know this? Because he fucking says he's innocent. And he fucking demands anyone who's going to listen to him, you have to believe you're innocent too. And you will be censored. You will receive death threats if you suggest otherwise. That's what happens. And this is how you make Mossad. You treat them like Jason Brashears. You put them through some of the worst things I could ever imagine. I think that if he was remorseful, he would understand how much of a rape it is for him to be popular on YouTube. How much it must hurt to be that victim and to hear him tell everyone that he's innocent and for everyone to give this guy money. That's why I don't have Zarelith on. Fuck you, Zarelith, for drinking that fucking dick. Fuck you. And I will never respect anyone who's pushing that kind of victimhood on someone that suffered under his knife or his gun or whatever the fuck it was. All I know is deadly weapon. Fuck you. This is the only way I can pollinate the world. I don't believe in righteousness enough to where I can come in and just build a fucking army and just start killing people to make it righteous. I think that people need to be told, fuck you. And the only power I have over Zarelith is I hope to fuck he respects me enough when I say it. Because if I say that when he respects me, maybe the next time he wants to watch Prison Musk, he will feel a little bit guilty. Just a little bit. And if you can feel a little bit guilty, we have progress. James, what do you think about the practice of Tantra? Not the Western version, of course. You lost me on not the Western version, of course, Oman. I would imagine that you may think that I only know of the Western version. I will tell you, though, that abstinence is the greatest invention that Christianity had. We spoke about this more yesterday. Watch that stream if you're not sure what I mean. That it was so hard to develop abstinence, pun intended. It was so hard to develop abstinence that we began to fear the very snake, the snake of Kundalini inside of us, which means when we become erotic, if your epigenetic history, right, your great-grandparents, grandparents, all the way back to Rome, it burned when they pee. The syphilis made them develop some sort of abstinence. That abstinence led to the destruction of Roman society because it was built around paganism, which had a monthly orgy. So you have a bunch of Romans saying, you're a girl, you're a girly religion, fucking girl, fucking pansy, fucking gay person, gay. Kind of like, oh, and now you're gay, you're gay, you're gay. Don't suck a dick. Like every day, that's all that guy says. And he swears how much of a Christian he is. And that is the Christianity. It is this worship of abstinence because you're terrified of your own strength. You're terrified of your own appetite. And you know that if you're given abandon, that you know if we do not shame this enough, you will go out and take someone up the butt. And you will go to Hollywood and you will change your name to a Jewish name in order to suck the dong of Hollywood so they will give you more roles. And if you know if they give me more roles, you'll be accepted as a comedian. And then when they throw you out, you're going to be able to just turn right around and say, I quit. And you didn't fucking quit, dude. You started in House Bunny, Owen. You fucking started in House Bunny. You rode the casting couch more than anyone. You literally changed your name to do this. And now you got that prison musk because you've been finished by it. You've been finished by it. So what do I think about Tantra? I think that the shame that we have about sex is necessary because it builds us enough of that abstinence, which, believe it or not, is a frontal lobe. Abstinence is the growth of the tumor on your frontal lobe that allows you to say no. It requires more calories than anything else. It's so crucial that you have all those calories so you could do these things. So you end up with a fetish over your power source. Superman has a fetish over kryptonite. And if you read Superman deep enough, you find that Superman's power actually came from kryptonite. And you're just like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? And so Owen's power comes from his inability to withhold his desire for deep, penetrating homosexuality. This is why he starts his stream that way. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this. Owen doesn't have the willpower to say no. He doesn't have the ability to abstain. This is why he needs ridicule to do it. Have you noticed how much he's been going after Nick Fuentes lately? And Nick Fuentes has been the one guy that's been exactly over the target to where the placebo is, to where the mind is. And if you listen to what Owen says about Nick and then you watch an interview with Nick, those are very different things. Kind of like how if you listen to how Owen used to talk about me, because now he's terrified to talk about me. And by the way, you can't even bring my name up in chat. He'll throw you out right away, so don't even try. And he's terrified to talk about me for the same thing. That he understands how exposed he is. Jason understands how exposed he is. Jason Brashear, sorry, that's his real name, understands how exposed he is. And this is why he has to warn you about me. And this is why I'm not super popular with everybody. I will fucking piss you off, man. If your eye's not on what I think is the prize, and that is totally my subjective opinion, you're not going to fucking make it in my eyes. It's not going to work because I'm going to pollinate this place. I can't change the world. I can pollinate it. It might sound like the same thing, but changing the world means you've got this idea about victory. Pollinating it means I'm just going to be a fucking flower. It's going to be a fucking flower. If you're going to be a flower, you're just going to spit out what you can, when you can, how you can, and you're just going to do the best, you know? You're just going to do the best with what you have. I don't have the answers. And I lose all the musk when I tell you that. I think mystery is sexy as fuck. And if there was ever an appetite where mystery is more sexy as fuck, people would start reading my tweets. Look, I have 4 hearts now. 4. No retweets. And in my mind, this is, I know this sounds so self-serving, but this is very profound. It's a very profound idea that appeals to both sides. It shows MAGA. It shows the left. It tells the left you can't make fun of slavery. It shows the right, dude, you're in slavery. Says it all. We can't have that. We don't want all. And you know what? That's a good thing. Even that I had trouble with. I had to ask myself, why don't we want it all? Why don't we just fix everything? James, why don't we just fix everything? Because the world's broken. The world's broken. That's what this means. The world's broken, guys. And if you don't fucking jack off as hard as I am, we're never going to make it. That's for Shears. That's fucking Owen in one tweet. Right there. That if we don't masturbate over how the world's broken, we're never going to make it. And the only way we're going to fix it is we got to ridicule fucking Nick Fuentes. Hardcore, we got to ridicule him because the last guy ridiculed is dead now. And his body ain't got no more life in it. And if you notice, he'll pull people out of the audience and do the same. He'll pull it out of his own audience. I don't know if he does that anymore. I haven't watched. I don't even know if he's still on. So I shouldn't even be saying this. But that this is what they do to Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's all the same truth movement. I think that we get confused by how polished the big one is. How polished the turd is of what most people consider reality. That's a very polished turd. And people like Made by Jim Bob will insist that's objective reality. And people who are way into esoterics or hermeticism will insist, James, you got that off Wikipedia, so it doesn't count. But it does count because it's mythology. Mythology is the most important thing. Okay, now I have 6 hits. This is ruined. Someone ruined my tweet. Now I have 6 likes. Someone ruined it. You see, you lose your morality when everybody likes what you do. Have you guys considered Perseus? I know I said this yesterday, but do you guys know what Perseus was given to kill the Gorgon Medusa? He was given a helmet of invisibility. This is an ice mask. Helmet of invisibility. He was given winged shoes so that he could escape. He could escape responsibility. He was given a shield. He was given a immunity from the law. 3 things. Helmet of invisibility. That's the mask. Jack boots. Kevlar vest. This is Perseus. This is why I created the Oracle mythology. What is the Oracle mythology? I think that we don't understand clearly what reality is. I think that the Ouroboros, that's probably not how you pronounce that. The snake that eats its own tail. Sorry, I read that word too much. That the snake that eats its own tail is the closest zetetic map of reality. I think that we will see the future and the past simultaneously in a kind of round room of mirrors. And that mythology is actually so much more important than you think. That because mythology is collective, this is very important, because it's populist, because it's collective, and because it's so venerated that we preserve it. These are the only things that led this to be an oracle. The oracle mythology means you're able to see the past and the future from this spot simply by analyzing mythology. And that the reason why mythology resonates through time is because it's an accurate oracle. This is why we call it mythology. If you think about it, mythology is such a weird word because it's not fiction and it's not true, but we still know it's something different. We still have decided and insisted that this is somehow different. And it's different because it's showing you both things. It's so hard to picture that you are hallucinating this world. It's so hard to picture that you are not tapping into every cell's nucleus and its ability to hallucinate. And the mass hallucination of all those cells give you a more accurate picture. The more cells, the heavier the hallucination. And with these things, instead of you driving down the road in an interstate, maybe you're inside a blood vessel. But if you're inside a blood vessel, moving through the blood vessel, why would you even need to render the top of the blood vessel. All blood vessels look the same. And if you were born into this world as a zygote, this is a young fetus, and if you were to develop into something, you would notice right away that seeing means nothing. For 9 months, you can't see shit. It means absolutely nothing. But what you can do is start to hallucinate. You start to drink the hallucinatory knowledge of your mother's milk. She's showing you how to hallucinate. She's showing you how to render the world with something like stars. And all these are sounds at first. You're hearing the stars sing. You don't know where the sound comes from. Mother's milk tells you, let's call this the sun. Let's call this the moon. Oh, have you got those? Let's try something harder. Here's Venus. Here's Jupiter. Here's Saturn. You have subtle energies like Uranus and Pluto. You have subtle things like the emotions of a woman, and you're not really sure what she's thinking. And that all these things are subtleties that are training the consciousness to learn to endure and interpret the hallucination that society gave you at birth. This is why you're symbiotic, whether you can help it or not. You're symbiotic, and it's okay to reject symbiosis. It's okay to hate society because you want to grow the self. But I'm telling you, once you develop that self, you're probably going to discover what I did, that fuck, this isn't enough. Sovereignty isn't enough. I need to look at this word symbiosis. And then it humbles you because all the work you did, you kind of have to throw away. But this is called reborn. And when we're reborn, we learn. And when we learn, we grow. And when we grow, we survive. And if we survive long enough, we bloom into conscious seeds. And if our conscious seed is in line with Gaia, it's very hard not to be, you will pollinate accordingly. You will pollinate your world accordingly. I am pollinating my world accordingly. I don't think I have it right. But I'm pollinating my world accordingly. And when I'm judged by the ostrich feather, when my body floats down Styx and I look over at Set and we decide, I will remember every single time that I've had these thoughts. I will remember every single time where I've had this symbiosis wrapped into my righteousness. And I've realized I will be able to say, I trusted the system that served me. This system raised me, Set. It taught me everything about shame, about guilt, about loving the self, about hating the self, about loving others, about hating others. This system showed me everything in some of the most disgusting, bitter vitriol I've ever tasted. And it never let me down. And because it never let me down, Set, I decided that I would be here and I would pollinate it for it, that I would participate in the great work, and I would follow my natural inclinations to remove the shame from my antenna, to remove the noise, I should say, of false shame from my antenna. This is a much better way of saying it. To remove the false shame of pressure itself, to develop enough of a self to where it felt like I was hearing my own signal. How do I know I have my own signal? Because I keep posting things that I know won't be popular. And screw these 6 people. It's because I keep posting things that I know won't be popular, but I want to post them anyway. This is the only way I know. And I bet you that Owen is going to change his tune on Nick Fuentes. Not because of this stream, but because Nick Fuentes is making a lot more sense. The same way he changed his tune on Joe Rogan. He used to fucking hate on that guy all the time. Actually, he's probably back on hating on Joe Rogan now. It's because there has to be a witch. You have to find someone to burn until you have enough wood to grow yourself. That's the goal. Would love to know what you guys think about today's program in the comments, what you think about this format, what you think about the calls. Appreciate the patience in serving us. Special shout out to Brad and Renee. Thank you so much for stocking the room with some good energy. Really helped a lot. I think I might have seen a face I've never seen before. Then if you had a question, I hope you'll come back later. Hope you guys will consider checking out Patreon. It's free, so you can stay aboard and support with Witness. And if you want to help run the show and throw some gas in, that'd be great too. So now I have 7 likes. Damn it, Pedro, you found me. And yeah, I really appreciate this. In fact, Pedro had a great post in the chat about the state of South America. And it's really, really, really enlightening to hear that. I want to encourage you to go read it. It's a kind of an idea about what's happening on the ground, especially in Rio de Janeiro, and kind of gives you a little bit more ammunition to compassionate Gaia completely, like across the whole spectrum. So thank you much, you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you next time on James Drew Live.
It's